What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sporcle Sunday. Hopefully this will be an ongoing thing. For right now, it's just this Sunday, but we'll see how this all works out. Maybe do this weekly or maybe not. Sporcle, of course, a website, has a lot of quizzes, mostly around sports-related things, but as you can see from those popular quizzes on the right, there's a couple other things that are on this website, a lot to dive into. I've seen a lot of these videos get uploaded before in the past. One particular person, Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter on YouTube. For those of you who might watch basketball that also watch my channel, know he's a big content creator in that community. Absolutely destroys everybody on these Sporcle quizzes. Shout out to him, shout out to Sporcle, and shout out to the people making these quizzes for what they do, because ultimately, this is a really fun website, and we're going to take part of it today. Got a couple NASCAR quizzes loaded up. Going to see how good we can do. I consider myself something of, a smart NASCAR viewer, both watching the sport as long as I have and knowing people in the sport. Eventually you put a little bit together, but we'll have to see how much knowledge I actually retained and how much we can do going forward. Put it to the test here. Gonna have 3 quizzes today. The one you see on your screen right now is gonna be where we begin. This, of course, being a Sporcle admin quiz, which I think means the website made it. Shout out to the website for this. As we progress, you'll see other quizzes made by fans or people in the sport or something else in between. Nonetheless, shout out to anybody who made these quizzes, and we're gonna jump right into this. Sorry, by the way, for any keyboard or mouse noises. I'm trying to sound out how everything is going to work here. Adjust my setup a little bit for the tow car viewer recordings, as well as my own uploads. So we're going to do a little bit of trial and error here today. If it doesn't sound great, sorry, you're going to have to deal with it, at least for this upload. But nonetheless, let's get into this before we run out of time here. I think we should completely cruise through this, because this is 2008, as you guys saw up top. Not that long ago. I know some of you that might watch the channel are a little younger, but for guys like me, this feels like yesterday. So I think we should be good to go. Let's not waste our time, though. We're going to start with, I think, David Rudiman in this car. There we go. It's also going to be shared, of course, by Michael McDowell, who, for a long time at least, was only known for the crash he had in this car. Probably going to put it on screen there for anybody who might not know, but I'm sure most of you do. If you found your way to this channel, you probably know about that already. Next up, the 01 car. This is the DEI car, the car that only existed 1.5 years, kind of, because of that weird merger with Ginn. This, of course, being Regan Smith. I'm not a Regan Smith fan at all, but he really, really did get robbed that one time at Talladega. I'm still upset about that all this time later. Tony didn't need that one. Next up, we have the the Bass Pro Shops 1 car. That can only be one man. Not that man. Martin Truex. Oh, I don't even need the junior. All right, cool. We also got Mark Martin in the process, who I don't think we would have had any trouble guessing later, but still, I'll take it. Next up, got our man Kurt Busch in that 2 car. I think back to that 2 scheme, and even though Brad won a championship in it, I always associate Kurt more with that car for one reason or another. He obviously was in that car for quite a long time, but then again, so was Brad, so who knows. Next up, we got the 5 car, who is not Mark Martin yet. Let's not forget, this was Casey Mears, and man, oh man, he did not do great at Hendrick. Again, that 1 win, the fuel mileage win, consistently their 4th best car. I feel like a lot of the people at the time put that on Casey exclusively, but as we saw in further years down the line, and even before that with Vickers, Hendrick always had 1 car that didn't really perform. The past 2 years, at this point at least, was Casey Mears, unfortunately for him, but still had a pretty long career nonetheless. Next up, a man that really didn't, David Ragan, that 6 car. Honestly, I feel like they rushed him into that 6 car. It was way, way too soon. He had just recently gotten, some Xfinity starts, Busch Series starts at the time. Obviously, they planned on Todd Cleaver getting in that car. They might have been better off putting Todd in that car. I mean, at least he was a little more prepared, but he did have a pretty disastrous few development years. Next up, we have the 07 car, one of my favorite looking cars ever to run. That's Clint Boyer this season in that 08 car, or 07 car. The very next year, ironically, he got replaced by Casey Mears, which is one of the, I feel like, more forgotten facts of this kind of era with the COT. Next up, we got, Robbie Gordon in that 7 car. One of the more popular drivers of his era. I was never a Robbie Gordon guy, but I can see why people do like him. Obviously, carving his own path there for a very long time in his own team. They haven't been in the sport for a while, but still, nonetheless, a very vital part of racing history. Speaking of history, Mark Martin has set so many records in this sport, but he was not alone in this 8 car, because let's not forget, Aric Almirola was once a DEI driver. I feel like everybody forgot about that. It was very brief, because obviously the team merged with Ganassi and shut down, but shout out to Aric Almirola nonetheless. After that, we got the 9 car. This can only be one man. It is Casey Kane, when he was still in his prime. Pardon me. Next up, I almost said Scott Riggs, but this actually isn't Scott Riggs. This is Patrick Carpentier, and this is going to be a struggle. Hold on. Carpentier. There we go. I'm shocked I spelled that the right way in the first time. Or second time, I guess. For whatever reason, French names always mess me up as far as spelling is concerned. Denny Hamlin's going to still be in that FedEx car right now, but nonetheless in this quiz too. Ryan Newman, his last year at Team Penske, was in that 12 car this season. And then we get into an interesting one, Paul Menard. I feel like Paul Menard was in that 15 car a lot longer than he really was. It was only, I think, 3 seasons. But it's always the car I think about first when I think about Paul Menard for one reason or another. And that says a lot, too, because he's made the playoffs a few times and won a couple, or at least won one racing cup. So, weird that I associate him with a 15, but nonetheless, we're going to move on here. Greg Biffle in that 16 car. I don't really think we have to say anything about a couple of these guys back-to-back. A lot of legends of the sport all in a row here. Next up, we have Kyle Busch. And then we have somebody who's probably not a legend, but somebody who was around for a very long time nonetheless. Elliott. Okay, wrong one. Elliott Sadler in that 19 machine. That car was around for a little bit, 4 or 5 years. I know he went back down to Xfinity and tried to get back up to Cup. Never did happen for poor Elliott, but he was around for a long time. Got a few wins, made the playoffs once. Shout out to him. Next up, I almost said Joey Logano, but I forgot. This is the last year Tony was in that 20 car. There's going to be a few more drivers for this 21, and that's going to kill me. How am I not remembering? John Wood, certainly, because he was in Xfinity around this time. Wow, he's not. Okay. That changes things. Was Ricky Rudd still around at all? No. He was in the 88 the year before this. I don't think he ended up racing anymore. Ken Schrader's got to be. What? Okay. We're in trouble. We're going to skip that because I'm running out of time here. I got to hurry up a little bit. Next up, we got Dave Blaney. Not Davey. Dave Blaney in that 22 car. Jeff Gordon, of course, in 24. McMurray in that 26 car. I was a McMurray fan growing up. This was the weirdest time for me to be a fan of the sport because I thought for sure he'd be really, really good. Nothing really came of it, but you'll have that sometimes in big-time stock car racing. We got Travis Kvapil. Shout out to the Crockpot. He's going to be the next one up here. Then, Kevin Harvick. I just completely mixed both of his names there. We're going to not talk about that and move on. Jeff Burton is in this 31. Then, I think this is the last year Gilliland was in that 38 car. Yes, he was. Okay, good to know. This is the Dario... Ooh, was he in the Cup Series? Yeah, it was. Dario Franchitti this year. Obviously, he ended up getting hurt. And then I think the team shut down halfway through the year. But he did start there nonetheless. Reed Sorensen. And then we got Juan Pablo Montoya in that 42 car. Hello? Maybe I should just put Montoya. Okay. Oh, there's no Pablo. Okay, they'll have that. Next up, I think this is still Bobby Labonte in the 43 car. Let's see. Shout out Bobby Lobotomy. It certainly was. This is going to be where some people mix up a little things here. Because Kyle Petty was still in this 45. But let's not forget, Chad McCumbee was also about to drive this car. I think he ran it half the year. But he's not on this quiz nonetheless because it's going to be, I think, Terry Labonte. It is Terry Labonte. That last year for that 45 had a little bit of a rotating door. I do believe at the very least that Chad McCumbee drove that car, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I have my years wrong. Jimmy Johnson's up next. Michael Waltrip after that. And then, ooh, these early days Haas cars always get me. That's Ken Schrader. It wasn't Jeff Green at this point, certainly. But who else would have been in that car? Was it Scott Riggs this year? Ah, dude. Okay, cool. I'm glad I don't know how I remembered that, but I'm glad I did. Next up, Sam Hornish Jr. Oop, didn't need the junior. I always forget. And then I think this is Kenny Wallace this year, right? Ooh, it's not. It's not Regan Smith. It's not Kenny Wallace. It's not Joe Nemechek, is it? It is Joe Nemechek. Okay. You know what it might be? I think Kenny drove the 87 part-time, and I'm thinking of that as Joe Nemechek for some reason. Next up, we got our 2 Red Bull cars. This is, of course, Brian Vickers and AJ Allmendinger. AJ, I think, got pulled from that car before the end of the year, too. I think they put Scott Speed in that thing. Not what they needed for AJ, not what that team really needed given they shut down. But nonetheless, worked out for AJ because he's still around now. Then Dale Earnhardt Jr. I'm not going to need the junior, certainly, right? There we go. I almost said Tony Raines. This isn't Tony Raines. This is JJ Yaley in that one-off year in the 96. I think it was the satellite Gibbs car. Didn't run well at all, so who really knows? Next up, Carl Edwards in that 99. And now we have to lock in. We're missing 2 people, and they're both in the 21 car. And between you and me, I thought John Wood and Ken Schrader would be the other 2. The fact that neither of them are here is really, really messing me up. Who else would have been in that car? Bill Elliott, obviously. We've already established that. Was there anybody in Ford that was a rookie? Is Eric Darnell in this car? If I can spell it right, no. How about Colin Brown? No. That would have been a little early for both of those guys, I think. Oh God, who else would this be? Certainly not David Stremme. No, I think he was still dodged at that point because Penske was dodging. That's where he went. Oh man, this is really messing me up. I'm not gonna lie. This one I thought would be a layup. So the fact that we're missing a couple people is really bothering me. We have a minute to figure it out. Let's put our thinking pants on. Little Debbie, U.S. Air Force. They kind of interchange those schemes weekly. Ambrose, Marcus Ambrose is one of these. Yes. I don't know why that clicked, but it clicked right there. We're only one away from perfection. It's gonna be this Wood Brothers car, and it's gonna ruin my day. Oh man, who was it? Let me see. Was Johnny Sauter still around in this? No, he was in Cup before it. Boom. I can't think of a single person in Ford that would have probably been a development driver that maybe got a couple starts besides John Wood, I guess. Oh wait, the 47 in Xfinity was teammates with the 59. Who was driving the 59? Was it Stacey Compton? It was not. Or at the very least, he's not in the 21 car. Oh, this is going to drive me insane. I expected a perfect quiz today. We still have 20 seconds to lock in. Who could it be? I'm trying to think of NASCAR. What would this be? NASCAR 09. Who was in that car? I could have swore it was John Wood. It's not. Ooh, man, we're going to have to, I think, just take the L here. 48 for 49. Not too bad. But I have no clue who this last person could be. Let's see. I'll let the timer run. It is. Oh, they spelled his name wrong. Oh, dude, this is a Sporcle admin quiz. Come on, Sporcle. We got to clean it up. I'm giving myself a pat on the back. This is a 100 as far as I'm concerned. Forget this number. That does not matter. Moving on to our next quiz. All right. And if we thought that last one was challenging, this one is certainly going to be way worse. Here we're looking at every single person to win a Cup Series point race from 2000 all the way down to 2009. A pretty big window here as we see years like 01 and 02. They had a lot of different people win a race. Not a lot of people won very many. Compare that to a year like 2008 where there were 3 people with 7 or more wins. Some of these years are going to be a little more tough than others, but as somebody who was alive and watched all of these races, I shouldn't realistically get very many wrong. So, before we go underway here, shout out to That's a Good Job. Let's hope it was. Let's hope this quiz is nice. 151 answers. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of duplicates. Let's see how many. First up, let's get some heavy hitters off the board. Jeff Gordon, obviously. Let me spell his name right. There we go. That's a lot of the years, if not all of them. No, not 2008. I forgot. Johnson. Who else was winning a lot of races this time? Tony Stewart. A little bit later on, Casey Kane's going to appear here a lot. Harvick. Oh, why do I keep trying to say Harvick? That's not his name. Kevin Harvick. There we go. Shout out to his former teammate, Clint Boyer. Not that he was really lighting the world on fire, but he's on this list. We just talked about Casey Mears' weird win before, so while that's on my brain, let me type that in too. All right. Now that we got some of these guys on the board, let's actually lock in and think year to year. So 2000, Ricky Rudd didn't win in 2000, but he won in 01 and 02, so I'll take it. 2000, Dale Jarrett was fast this time. He was on a lot of these lists. Bobby Labonte. If I put Labonte, I'm thinking I get both. Not that Terry's on here more than once, but still, I'll take 2 names nonetheless. 2000. I'm trying to think of races in 2000. Dale Earnhardt's on here at the very least for 1 win. And I forgot Junior's going to count for that. Kenseth won this year as a rookie. I forgot to talk about him. There was a third rookie, I'm pretty sure, that came into the sport at the same time with Dale and Matt. I don't remember who that was, but they're certainly on here too, I'm pretty sure. Newman's a little later, but I'm going to add him because he just popped into my brain. Mark Martin. How could I forget Mark Martin? He's only got 1 win in 2000. I thought he won more than that. Either way, Ken Schrader, I don't think he won in this time period. Steve Park did a couple times. There we go. 2000. Oh man, this is a lot easier when you're watching people do these. The moment you jump in and the pressure's on, we're down to 4 minutes. We gotta move on. 2001. I know Joe Nemechek won a weird race. I also just remember Jerry Nadeau was a winner in that 25 car. God, how do I spell it? There we go. All right, can't linger on that too much. Robbie Gordon should have popped up with Jeff Gordon. I guess not. No, never mind. We got him on the list as well. Who else was a winner? Mike Skinner never won. Rusty Wallace is going to be on here. Let me just put Wallace in case there's a Kenny win or Mike win. I don't think those guys ever won, but just in case, let's clear them. Waltrip. That's going to get Mikey. Not going to get DW. It was past his time, unfortunately. All right, we got to move on. So years that are missing a lot. So let's look more recently. Bush, he's going to be on both lists. Logano, Hamlin, 2009 it has almost everybody. Was there any first-time winners in 09? Keselowski, he's only going to be on here once, but still. Stremme never won. Who else was in that car? Like a prominent car. Gibbs. It was Gailey. He never won. Kyle Busch is already on here. Jason Loeffler never won in the 11 car. All right, we're thinking wrong. 2008. Carl Edwards stuff. He's going to be on here for a few. Who else was in a Roush car this time? Kenseth's on here. Biffle's on here. Reagan's... Oh, he didn't win in 09, did he? No. He didn't win until like 2011. Pardon me. I'm getting sick from all the wrong answers. Oh, man. We're on the clock. We're running out of time. 2 wins apiece. McMurray. I just talked about him before. He's on here a couple times. Marlin, the guy he took over for, should be on a few of these. Montoya's on here for 07 and... Well, not 2010, because 2010's not on the list. All right, maybe that's the way we should be looking at this. Teams. So Roush, I cleared, I'm pretty sure. Penske had Rusty. It had Kurt Busch who's on here. It had Brad who's on here. 12 car had Newman, and then it had Stremme. Stremme never won. Hornish never won. So Gibbs. I talked about Gibbs. Roush. Hendrick. Vickers is going to be on here for a couple. Johnson, Gordon. Earnhardt Jr.'s on here. Who did they replace? Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is on here. Terry Labonte's on here. Okay, we cleared Hendrick. Oh, all right. It's going to be a lot of these one-offs and smaller teams, I think. Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch. Oh, man. I'm so disappointed in myself that we're not doing a little better here. Especially this 4 wins in 2000 is messing with me. Some of these 6 wins in 2005. Who was lighting the world on fire in 05? I did put Biffle in. I didn't put Biffle in. Okay, there we go. That was a big chunk of the people right there. Still got 19 more, a minute and a half. Let's try to lock in here. Who else won in 2008? Who else was a good competitive car in 2008? Let's think. 1, 2, I just do the numbers in my head, and it's not helping me at all because I can't even visualize the schemes looking at the screen right now. Let's maybe try a different strategy. 2000. Who got 4 wins? There's somebody that was absolutely destroying everybody, and I have no idea who it was because they didn't win the championship, unfortunately. Yeah, no, they didn't, because Dale Jarrett's already on there. Wow, this is as not locked in as I've ever been on these. I really do think so. We're going to actually call it. We're going to call it a minute short because I can't think of a single person. Fuck! Jeff Burton! God damn it. And Ward Burton. That should have been easy. A lot of these other people, I could see why I forgot a little bit about them. Elliott Sadler, I probably should have thought about better just because, you know, obviously we were just talking about him. Oh, Jeff Burton would have been so many of the people on this. That's a shame. That really is. Nonetheless, though, 87, I actually did deserve the score I got on this one. So 87, I'll take it. 13 above the average. Hey, listen. I never claimed to be perfect. I just claimed to know a little bit, and I think 87% qualifies as a little bit. But nonetheless, we've got one more quiz to jump into. Let's go. All right, and this one will undoubtedly be the worst one I do. This is every single Cup Rookie of the Year from all the way back in 1958 to 2022. Good God, I am going to do terrible with this one. This is by Henry Fieldstone. Shout out to Henry. Shout out to the quiz. Has 7 kudos. I don't really know what that means. I assume that means people just liked it, but I'm hoping it's a good one. Let's jump in. All right, let's just think about people. Casey Kane. I know Stephen Light somehow won. Yeah, 2012. There was no rookies that year. I think Kevin Conway was right before that. No, 2010. Okay. Let me see. 2009 was certainly Logano, right? Okay, 2008. He's not 2008, but Ryan Newman just popped into my... Biffle's 03. No? Okay, who else was a rookie in that year? I don't know. 2005 was probably another good year. 06. Hamlin was probably a rookie of the year. Yeah. 2007 was probably Montoya. 2008, I still don't know. 2013 or 2011. Oh, it's Andy Lally. That's who this was. He's in a 71 car. 2013. This is where we're getting to like the abysmal years, I call them, just because there was really not a lot of people, you know, joining the Cup Series, and at least not a lot of impactful rookies. Let's see if Junior across the board. It does. It gets us 2. I got Ricky Stenhouse, who was 2013, and Kenny Irwin Jr. in 1998, who I would certainly not have just thought about on my own accord. 2014 had a few real rookies. I had Austin Dillon and Stenhouse. No, actually Stenhouse must have been 2013, so this must be Austin Dillon. Using our own logic. It's not. Was he also 2013? I thought he won the Xfinity title that year. Larson might also be this rookie. It is that. Okay. 2015, I think, is Moffitt, right? Yeah. 2016. Ooh, who was a rookie in 2016? This is a year I still remember pretty well, so I should get this one right. I don't think I will, though. Was it De Benedetto? Because I think he was around this year. I'm going to assume not. I think I spelled his name right, so I'm going to assume that's not who this is. 2017. Good God. This is embarrassing. I should be doing better. Was this Jeffrey Earnhardt? I think he was in the Hulu car, right? Oh, we got Dale. Okay, I'll take it. 2017, 2016. These years are killing me. 2008. Is 2008 Regan Smith? Oh, we get Larry Smith in the process. Okay. Let me think. Who was a rookie recently? Who's in Cup now? Byron was a rookie at some point in this time period. Elliott. Might even get Bill. I didn't get Bill. Okay. Oh, he was 2016. Duh. That should have been obvious. I can visualize that car right now. Bowman was not a rookie of the year. Who else? Wait, actually, no way. No way, right? No. Okay. God, 2005. Was 2005 Leffler? No. Who else was a rookie that year? Edwards might be on here, I think. Nope. Okay. I think that was the story in 05. Is that Edwards was really good, but had too many starts the year before, or something like that. Man, who else would have? Is Boris said? Okay, no, certainly not. 2003 should also be a pretty obvious year, but it's not. It really isn't. So let's keep going back. Kenseth is on here. Is there a Sadler on here? There's not. We already got Newman. Biffle wasn't on here. I got everybody in the time frame I really know best, which is the problem. Bush. That's who 05 is. Okay, that makes sense. So maybe he didn't deserve it, Edwards at least. But moving on, some of the more recent ones are the more troubling ones. I should be able to visualize these cars because like 2022 is still a next gen year. This is Harrison Burton probably, right? No, but we get Jeff. Okay. If it's not Harrison Burton, who showed up in 2022? Gregson, I think, is last year, right? No, wait, last year's not on here. Never mind. Good God, I should be doing way better at this. I did expect this to be my worst one, but we're not doing great. But I'm here to struggle. I'm here with you guys. Hopefully you're doing a little better than I am, and hopefully it's painfully obvious to you who I am missing, because certainly I'm missing somebody that should not be missing. A lot of them probably at that. 2021. Is Corey LaJoy on here one of these years? No. Who's people that like showed up recently? This is one of those things, like when you're not in a quiz environment and there's no pressure, you can think of these people immediately. But right now I am choking. I am doing a terrible, terrible job. Okay, 2019. Priest might be in here for one of these. He's not. Holmendinger wouldn't have timed out this time period. Is Cole Witt 2017? No, he's not. I remember that TriStar 72 car was on track. Man, I am cooked. This is so bad. This is going terrible. Let's go back to the 90s. There's probably a Wallace on here. There is. There's probably a Waltrip on here. There's not. Okay. Were there any greens? No. I'm just thinking of common last names. Jimmy Johnson might have. No, he was 02. Who was a rookie in 2003? This one specifically is the one killing me. Also, Harvick is 2001. I just remembered that. There we go. 2003 specifically is the one messing me up here. Man, they don't deal with Rookie of the Year very much recently. Like, this shows you how important the Rookie of the Year battle has been from 2017 to 2020. I only can get William Byron. And granted, some of that's me being dumb, but I feel like certainly there should have been people on here that I remembered. Suarez might be here. He's not. Fuck. Eric Jones. Jones could be here. Bell. No. Reddick? I'm a Tyler Reddick fan. I should have known that. But oh, Cole Custer. He won this year. That's why he's up in that playoff position. That's how I should be thinking about this. Guys that won that shouldn't have. Rookies, at least. But there's not very many of those either. Or at least not many that jump to mind. Oh, this is pitiful. I'm going to leave this in the video. Even if I don't get a single more name, I'm leaving this in the video. I struggle, honestly. I don't want to hide my own mistakes. And this is a lot of mistakes. 2021, 2022. There's an obvious person in here. Is it BJ McLeod? Not that he's really obvious. No. Who else was a rookie in this time period? Everything on this right column should be filled in. The first two, I understand not understanding those. But the rest, I certainly should have. Let's just guess legendary names. Yarborough. Oh, I'm never going to spell his name. We're going to pass on him. Pearson. There we go. We got one. Who else was a champion? That's probably the best way I can go about this. Are there any flocks that showed up after this point? There's not. Or at least no Rookie of the Years. 80s. Who was a good driver in the 80s and 90s? I said Waltrip. I said Earnhardt. Wabani is Wabani? No. Skinner might be one of these. He is. Steve Park? Is Steve Park 99? He's not. 2003. This is these on the right. I gotta focus on because these I can definitely get. Who was a rookie in 03? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Who's in the 4 card this year? I think this team shut down. It doesn't matter. Boom, boom, boom. Oh man, this should be so. It's probably gonna be so obvious the moment I end this quiz. But I think that road ends here. I want to give myself some time. 3 minutes is enough time to think of what name or two. 2019, 2021, 2022. Why is this so difficult? 2021. Who was in Xfinity in the COVID year? Chase Briscoe. Duh. There we go. That's another one we should have got. 2022. First next gen year. The only rookie I can really think of from 22 is Harrison Burton, and he obviously isn't it. So I don't know who that's gonna be. Who else? Bubba Wallace was 2017. He's not the rookie of the year. 2019 is Bell? No, Bell was 2020. I think he was in that 95 car. I think the road ends here. I hate to say it, I really do, but I think I have to call it here. You know what? We're going to call it. We're going to concede. We're going to wave the white flag, and we're about to get really mad as soon as I click this button because there's going to be some really obvious answers. Oh, Jamie McMurray. Dude, in the first quiz, I talked about being a McMurray fan. I have no excuse not to know this one, but unfortunately, I didn't. This makes complete sense. I forgot he was in Cup this time. And Cindric is a dumb one. He won the 500. I mean, I saw that race. Everybody probably saw that race. That's a really painful one. Tony Stewart. Oh, my God. He was like a championship competitor this year. Well, maybe not vividly. I was very young when this race happened, this season happened. But he was a championship competitor. I remember that. Benson, Craven, I understand not getting those. Gordon, oh my God. This is horrific. Davey Allison, Alvin Kowicki, even Bobby Hamilton. There are some that I should have realistically known. I didn't know Sterling was a rookie of the year, so I'm not too mad about that. On the left side, Shorty Rollins, I have no clue who that is. Richard Petty, oh my God. How did I not say Richard Petty's name once during this whole time period? I knew he started out on this left column somewhere. Speaking of on the left column, good God, Ricky Rudd was a rookie in 77. That guy raced a really long time. Obviously, being the age I am, I missed out on most of his career, so I don't really know a lot about it. But nonetheless, you guys just watched me embarrass myself progressively more and more as each quiz went down. Maybe we'll do this again. Maybe we won't. I don't really know. But thank you for spending some of your Sunday morning with me. Shout out to everybody who subscribed and watched the last video. Just wanted to throw this one in the mix a little bit too because I promised uploads. And this past video I've been working on, given the scripted nature of what I'm doing, takes a little bit longer. So we're going to still be having a few more uploads come out in the near future. But regardless of that, enjoy your Sporcle Sunday. Have a great day today, and I'll see you next time. Deuces.